it's time to jump into free agency. I have a whole plan of attack, I guess, written out in my notebook here for my plans for this off season. Hopefully, it goes exactly how I have it written out. We know that's how it works in Super Mega Baseball 4. Um, we got lucky last off season. Everything worked out perfectly for us. We signed every single free agent at their price point that we were looking for. Um, yeah, I have a few moves here. We're going to be seeing a few familiar faces coming back, hopefully in an ideal off season. Um, yeah, so we're going to jump on over with taking a quick look at who we're releasing. Mike McGlinchey turned down an offer. Jonah Ellis, Nick Bonito, Devontae Smith. We're going to be looking to bring back Ellis and Smith. Bonito's gone. Troy Franklin, we're going to leave him. He's going to be gone. I do want to replace Jalen Milroe as our number 4 pitcher. And I have an option in mind. We just got to see about price points. Austin Hooper's gone too. We have 2 free agent targets to be kind of salary saver options. I might as well jump in to show you who we're targeting here. My target to replace Mike McGlinchey is TJ Hawkinson. He's got nice power, pretty solid speed, good arm, and that cannon arm trait, even though it'll only be a tier 2, so it could be better. But that's how this franchise series is going to go with tier 2s across the board. Um, fielding could be a little better for a catcher, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. Off-speed hitter is nice as well. We're going to go down here, bring in Jonah Ellis, hopefully. Bring him back. He was really nice for us as a bench piece. He can fill in if Quinn Minor's at first base or our returning third baseman, hopefully, need a day off, or we just need a DH in general, or a pinch hitter in general. So, yeah. So I like Ellis. He's developed pretty well. That 81 power is really nice to see. Big hack, tier 2, 24 years old, so he could still develop even more. So hopefully that's how it works. There's a couple players I have starred that I'm not as interested in just due to our salary restraints. Brock Bowers is our main target at second base. It would have been Bijan, but the difference in valuation, we could save a couple million. Brock Bowers, I want instead of Bijan here to replace Nick Bonito. He's only 25 years old, tier 2 mind gamer, 69 power, 72 speed, or 72 contact, I'm sorry. That's a nice offensive combo. 63 speed, not bad. 89 fielding, that's reliable. On defense, 74 arm, that's good. And he has that infield outfield versatility in case, we need to use him somewhere else. We probably won't, but you never know. It's nice to have. Bijan was my other option with clutch and volatile. Just blue ratings across the board. 82 contact, 86 speed, 84 fielding, 82 arm, 68 power. Like I said, he was my number 1 pick, but after going through crunching the numbers a little bit, we're going to have to stick with Bowers, which I am more than happy with. We were looking at him last offseason, actually, to replace Bonito, but at that point, Bonito hadn't started his fall off yet, and the fall off began this season. So we get another chance to correct that mistake. Hopefully we can take care of it this offseason. Devontae Smith, the only reason I let him go in free agency in the first place is because we signed him late in the year when he was already released by the Eagles. And we signed him for nearly twice as much as his valuation. It was like 13.9 or 14 million. So if we can get him back at 7.6, that would be nice. Let's see. Oh, there's somebody I didn't. Okay, so these three guys are options for Troy Franklin's roster spot, just to keep an additional outfield bat. CJ and Darnell Savage were my main picks. Romeo Dobbs was an interesting option too, with first pitch slayer and clutch. But again, due to kind of, roster restraints when it comes to the salary, we're going to have to go to someone I didn't even star. Keely Ringo. He's not much at all to look at. 23 years old, 80 arm, which is fine, or which is good, but 65 speed is okay. 54 fielding could be better. He has nothing offensively, so he's more of just a salary saver. He's $2.8 million valuation. So if we can get him for that price, it's fine. We'll just keep another body on the end of the bench. As for pitching, Reek Woolen is the man who's going to be replacing Jalen Milroe, ideally. 29 years old, so he's a little bit older. It was between him and Bryce Young, which, I could take either one. But Reek Woolen, 5-pitch mix, workhorse trait, 52 velo, 48 junk, 48 accuracy. So nothing, no strengths, but no weaknesses. Just a solid number 4 guy. And he has pretty decent hitting stats for a pitcher. 39 power, 40 contact, 66 speed. So, pretty solid starter. Bryce Young, maybe a little higher upside. Maybe we'll revisit when it comes to, maybe who ends up becoming the better deal in the end. And our final signing to replace Austin Hooper is Lewis Seen. He's, again, it's going to be very similar to Hooper in that he's not to the same extent, but he's also going to be a salary saver. Only $3.2 million in valuation. Only 3 pitches. Pretty, mediocre across the board in terms of velo, junk, and accuracy. He's only 26, so maybe he could develop. But again, he's more of a salary saver who's not terrible if he has to play. The only, let me just jump back into that real quick. I might look to make a move early for Reek Woolen. His asking price is a 7.3. His valuation is 6.5. So if his number drops down to about that price point, I might make the move for Milroe. Milroe is making 4 right now, 4 million. We might do that early and then keep an eye on Bryce Young as he gets lower in cost. Might jump from Woolen to Bryce Young. Who knows? Yeah. So if all these moves come to fruition, we'll have $8.2 million left in surplus. So not a lot of money, but is what it is. We're going for a championship. All right. So we're going to start. 6 transactions were made. We're just going to kind of scroll through these. I don't want this episode to be too long. I'll skip through a few. I like to turn off the... Ooh. Week 1 is already below his price. I think I'm going to rate one more round. One more round. Okay. I'm playing risky games here already. $6 million for Reek Woolen. One more round. One more round. Okay. We're, sorry, I'm pressing my luck really early. All right, we're gonna grab Reek Woolen right here for 5.8. I'm gonna grab Reek Woolen here for 5.8. We're gonna cut Jalen Milroe, and we have our new number 4 pitcher. Okay. I like the look of this rotation now. Bo Nix at a B plus, Jaquan, Jackson Dart, and Reek Woolen all with a B minus, all in different age ranges. So, other than replacing the relief pitcher, Austin Hooper with Lewisine, the pitching is all taken care of. I like this rotation. I like the bullpen. I think we'll be all right. Now let's look at Hawkinson is at 8.9 or 9.9. Jonah Ellis is at 7.5. So it looks like everybody's, for the most part, about $1 million over their valuation. So I'm going to give it a minute. Yeah, I'm going to give it a couple more rounds here. Puka Nacua, Myles Garrett. Going back to the Browns. Puka to the Lions. Round 11, Josh Allen to the Colts. Derek Brown to Jacksonville. Jalen Carter to Tampa Bay. Jamar Chase to Buffalo. Round 12, Cameron Dicker. Patrick Mahomes to the Raiders. Oh, now we get to see him multiple times again. Bijan Robinson to the Raiders as well. The Raiders are going to be a force just based off those two moves alone. A.J. Brown to the Steelers. Nico Collins to the Chargers. Orlando Brown to the Bucks. So the Cowboys get George Pickens back. And the Falcons get Micah Parsons. Rams get CeeDee Lamb. The Patriots signed Dexter Lawrence and cut Deebo Samuel. I'm going to take a look at, speaking of the Raiders, Brock Bowers is 0.2 over. That is fine with me. 11.5 for Brock Bowers. Especially with Bijan going off the board. I am not taking a chance. We want to replace Nick Bonito with a superstar, and that's exactly what we have. Brock Bowers, welcome to the Broncos. Let's look at other free agents here. Hawkinson, still a little bit over. We'll wait for him to drop down a little bit. Maybe being at 30 years old. Like Jared Wilson might be a better, more prioritized target for the computer teams, being that he's 6 years younger. Still the same overall, about the same price. So hopefully they focus on him instead. Jonah Ellis, we're going to wait another round for him. Devontae Smith is at his price point. Being 29 years old, I'm going to wait one round on him. Keely Ringo. Let's wait. 10 transactions were made. Let's see if there are any stars. Okay, nobody goes. Josh Jacobs to the Saints. Joe Burrow to the Raiders, along with Patrick Mahomes. That is going to be a nasty rotation. Oh my God. Nick Bonito to Cincinnati. Denzel Ward and Saquon to the Raiders as well. We got to look at the Raiders roster when we're finished. Holy shit. Chuba Hubbard to the Falcons. Aiden Hutchinson to the Cowboys. What the fuck? The Raiders are making moves. Oh my God. Hawkinson is 0.1 over. I think we'll probably take him. Jonah Ellis. We'll definitely take Jonah Ellis. He deserves that 0.1 over his valuation. Especially since we saved 0.7 for Reek Woolen. So we're going to grab Jonah Ellis. Bring him back. Welcome back, buddy. I think Devontae Smith should be under his price point by now. 7.4. I am happy to bring him back. At a slight discount. I think this is working out pretty well. I like this. We have $23.6 million left. We have 3 roster spots to fill. 2 of them are salary savers. One of them is an actual starter. Lewis Seen, 3.2. He'll probably drop under. And Keely Ringo is slightly under. We could wait for Ringo. Now the question is, do we want to wait for Hawkinson? There's only a few elite catchers. We're not too worried about chemistry because when I was writing everything down, taking care of everything, it added up pretty easily. So I'm not too concerned. Oh, this round there's usually a lot of transactions, but we're going for it. 15. Hawkinson goes to the Vikings. No. Hawkinson returns to the Vikings. He had cannon arm. Oh, man. And Jared Wilson goes as well. So we're going to have to find a new catcher. I'm going to find a new catcher option. I'm mad about that, man. This is our first off-season whiff. TJ Hawkinson goes to the Vikings, or returns to the Vikings. That cannon arm would have been nice, too. Why did I play? I was just trying to get him slightly under his valuation. Oh, dang it. Alright, let's look at Taylor Decker. Man. That sucks, man. Oh, no. I mean, I guess we could always bring back Mike McGlinchey. We gotta pivot, though. We gotta focus. We gotta pivot. Liam Eichenberg, no. Michael Wilson, he developed choker. I don't like that at all. Woody Marks, he doesn't have good enough arm. Is it Mike McGlinchey? Lane Johnson, he has whiffer though. I don't like whiffer. Alright, so it's between Mike McGlinchey, Taylor Decker, and Titus Ward. Or Taylor Decker, Titus Howard. 66 arm is not great. Let me take a look, actually. Alright, so I'm just looking at arm right now. Jordan Lewis, Mo Alley-Cox. Tommy Tremble doesn't look too bad, but is choker and injury prone. Jaquan Brisker just won a championship with Pittsburgh. Maybe he has that championship pedigree that this team desperately needs. He's pretty solid overall, to be honest. I was looking at him. DJ Glaze, that's a wild name. Sign Stealer. Not super crazy about Sign Stealer, honestly. Fuck. I think I want to go with Brisker. He's got that championship pedigree that our team needs. I'm gonna write him down real quick. He's also got first base and outfield versatility. He's B minus 28. Scholarly trait or scholarly chemistry for 6.5 million. I think this is the move. He's gonna be our new starting catcher. Sorry about that. So we are still saving money. We're saving $2.3 million from what I had written down for TJ Hawkinson. It just sucks that we missed out. But hey, we're making the move. Shit happens. You got to adapt. Adapt and move on. Yeah, I don't have the money for that replacement. 17.1 million. We have 2 players left that we're looking at. Ringo is 0.2 under, and Lewis Seen is 0.2 under. We're gonna wait for both of them. They're both 29 moves. Good God. Ringo is still there, 0.4 under, and Lewis Seen is still there, 0.3 under. Let's go. Bryce Young is still available. If we wanted to make that move from Reek Woolen and then bring in Bryce Young as our number 4. Is that the right move? I think it would be Reek Woolen that we release. Bryce Young has 5 more velo and 13 more accuracy. Reek Woolen has 4 more junk and workhorse. But Bryce Young is 3 years younger. Oh, he's still more expensive. What am I doing? I forgot we got that discount on him to start. Skip one more round. 28 transactions. Dear God. Bryce Young is still there, 6.1. Alright, Ringo's still there, and Lewisine is still there. We're going to make our moves now. So, Keely Ringo for 2.3. Keely Ringo for 2.3 for Troy Franklin. And then we are adding Lewis Seen for 2.7. For Austin Hooper. All right, so we have 12.1 million left. So, I mean, that kind of a whiff, missing out on Hawkinson, that ended up helping us out, money-wise. Isaac Tesla is still interesting. So what I wanted to do with him was I wanted to release, because they have the same chemistry type, it's not an issue. I wanted to release Christian Haynes and bring in like an actual number 2 catcher. So here was my plan. You know what? I'm gonna do it. The reason I didn't do it in the first place was for money. But now that the Hawkinson move fell through, and we end up saving money by adding Jaquan Brisker. Is it Jaquan or Jaquan Brisker? I don't know. But now we have two Jaquans or Jaquans. So that's fun. Sorry, I'm writing this down as we go. He's a spirited. How much was he asking for? It was like 4.7. Yep. We're cutting Christian Haynes. He'll be the number 2 catcher. Okay. This is our final move, probably. We're still within tier 2 of everything. I think next off season we might have to just go in and make a huge boost to the rotation. The entire pitching staff, really. I can see Bo Nix staying with us. And 1 or 2 of these 3. Because of Jaquan's age, I could see us moving on from him, being 27. But yeah, these are just me thinking out loud here. Like our relievers, they're both kind of salary savers. And what did I want to do? I forget what I was thinking. Either way. Yeah, so Jaquan. Yeah. We're going to move on a few rounds. See if anything interesting pops up. 43 transactions. We're not looking through all of these. Let's go to round 25 and see if there's anything interesting in free agency. Darnell Washington. Not really. Go by age. Noel Williams. Jalen Monroe still there. Sorry, Jalen. You were fun. But we needed another number four starter in the rotation. Trey Lance is there. Abrams Drain. He's a good defensive option. Christian Haynes. I think that's pretty much all we're going to be doing in this episode. We're going to go to the final round. See if there's anything interesting here. Whoops. I like Washington. He's got good power. But I don't think we're going to do anything. We're not going to cut somebody to go get him. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else here to mess with. Kyle McCord. Those traits. Cannon arm for Benjamin Jurasek. Alright, we're going to move on and jump into the beginning of this season. Season number 3. We're going to set our lineups, we got to look at the Raiders roster because holy shit, they made huge moves. The Eagles cut Kyle McCord and signed J.J. McCarthy. Interesting. Let's look at player development here. Devontae Smith +3 arm. Lewis Seen, we're not really going to mess with him. Chance to gain Butterfingers, no thank you. Kind of crazy. Although that +4, possibly +8 power would be nice. 77 power. Be pretty crazy. Marvin Mims, bonus fielding. 3, chance to get 8. Keely Ringo, again, salary saver. So we're not going to do anything as far as PDOs are concerned right now. Let's look at our economy. We'll be getting 227 Sorry. $227,500 per game. And we're already just a little bit under $4 million in PDO funds in the bank. Gonna look at our lineups. Okay, so as of now, the suggested lineup has Pastertan, Bowers, Jonah Ellis is DH, Quinn, Court. Again, we're always gonna have to change this. Jade Barrett is our left fielder. Talanoa Hufanga at center field. Devontae Smith at third base. Jaquan at catcher. Okay. Making that move again. I'll look at numbers real quick. Jaquan Brisker. Let me look him up real quick. I don't know if he wore like a specific number in college, maybe. I don't like him having number 90. Jaquan Brisker. Yeah, looks like he's always been number 9 in Chicago with the Bears. Looks like at Penn State he was number 1. Do we have a number 1 on our team? I don't feel like an idiot. There's an obvious one. Nope, we don't. So Brisker will be number 1. Cool. Tesla. Okay, Ringo's now wearing number 7. Not in a Denver Broncos jersey, buddy. You will be number 0. How about that? Rick Wallen, 27. Lucine, number 5. The only one I want to change is Isaac Tesla. You're not wearing number 18. I know it's baseball, not football, but these are the Denver Broncos, baby. Number 4, maybe? Is there anybody number 4? Nope. Alright. Tesla will wear number 4. I'm going to try this no more. Number 8. Alright, I think we're good as far as switching up numbers. I'm going to save that real quick. Going to back out and save. I want to see... Alright, yeah, we're good on time. Alright, I want to look at the Raiders. Because what the fuck? They were making moves in the offseason. Look at that rotation. At least the first 2. Alright, so they got Crosby at catcher. Saquon at first base with Gunnar Helm as a backup. Bijan Robinson at second base with Dalton Kincaid as a backup. Arnold Ebiketie. Nakobe Dean at shortstop. Bayshaw Tootin at left field. Zach Besh at center field. Denzel Ward at right field. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow are leading off their rotation, followed by Aiden O'Connell. And then they have a combination of Blake Grupe, Carlton Davis, and Tyree Wilson at long reliever, with Jason Sanders, Rook Orhoro, and Justin Tucker rounding out the bullpen. Dude, that's wild. If they replaced a spirited disciplined, scholarly, or crafty player with a competitive, they would have Patrick Mahomes at tier 3 workhorse. And they would get tier 3 injury prone for Joe Burrow, which would minimize his injury risk. Why am I blanking? He's number 9, right? Because I'm going to change it for him. Why am I blanking on his number? He's number 9, right? Yeah, he's number 9. I don't want to... Yeah, Tyree, you can get fucked, buddy. I don't want to, like, screw around with their team and what they got going on. But if you're going to sign Joe Burrow, at least give him his jersey number. Tyree can have number 6. How about that? Joe Burrow. At least I'll respect you enough to give you your jersey number. Patrick Mahomes. Saquon got his. Denzel Ward. Didn't he change numbers recently? Or a couple years ago, maybe. Why am I helping out the Raiders? 21. Looks like this. Did he change his jersey number? I thought he changed it from 21 to something else. No, he's number 21. Cool. I think somebody... Nope, nobody else has it. Cool. Alright, this is the last one I'm doing. I'm not going to go do it for every team. I just wanted to check out the Raiders roster, because holy shit. Max Crosby, A. Bijan Robinson, A. Patrick Mahomes, A. Denzel Ward, A-. Joe Burrow, A-. Saquon Barkley, B+. Justin Tucker, B+. Like, damn. They're ready. Alright, we're opening against the Chargers. At the Chargers. Bo Nix against Justin Herbert. Classic. Tale as old as time. Let's see if they made any huge additions. Nico Collins. An A overall right fielder. Buda Baker. Was he on the team last year? Whoops. He was not. 2 straight years of 6 home runs. Marion Hampton's a B+. Justin Herbert's a B+. Harrison Smith's a B+, but he's about to retire. Or at least hit some serious regression. They signed Riley Moss. That's kind of... bleh. But other than that, it looks, fine. While we're looking, we might as well look at the other of our rivals here. Quinyon Mitchell. Did they sign him last year? Yeah, he's been on their team. Taylor Decker. I think they just signed him. No, they just brought him back then. Kenneth Walker. Rashee Rice. Tyreek Hill is back. Kayvon Thibodeau is still there. It doesn't look like they made any crazy moves. I'm kind of worried about the Raiders. So that team is crazy looking. Our team looks pretty good too, though. So, Jaquan Brisker. I'm not sure how I'm going to start pronouncing that. But Jaquan Brisker is our starting catcher this year. He's one of our changes. He's the only impromptu signing we had to make. TJ Hawkinson was our main target. He ended up getting signed by Minnesota. So we ended up taking Brisker, 28 years old. He was a Pittsburgh Steeler the last 2 years. He went 5 for 24 in the playoffs this year. And they won a ring last season, I believe. Unless I'm missing something. Yep, they outdid Minnesota 3-1 as the 7th seed, second to last playoff team in terms of seeding order. They end up beating Minnesota for the championship. What was that? 59 and 35, 63% win percentage. That's pretty good. Okay, and then Isaac Tesla is our backup catcher. He's, 25 years old. Good fielding. We could work on that arm to get that improved a little bit. Kind of, just develop him offensively. Maybe get some extra speed. It would be nice to see him develop into a future catcher for us. But until then, he comes in when Brisker needs a break. When we need a break for Brisker. Or he's injured. Or whatever. He can come in and fill in when he needs to. No problem. Quinn Miners, he's back as our starting first baseman and our second best player on the team in terms of ratings. Hopefully he gets back to season 1 Quinn instead of season 2 Quinn. Season 2 Quinn was a disappointment. Season 1 Quinn led the entire damn league in home runs. So we need that mindset to get right back to him, and he needs to start hitting bombs. Jonah Ellis is back. He's a backup first baseman, and he's also just general infield depth. He's going to be able to fill in when needed, pinch hit when he needs to, DH when he needs to, no problem. 81 power, 77 arm, tier 2 big hack. Contact speed and fielding could all use some work, but as it stands right now, he's only 24 years old, so I'm cool with him as is. If he develops, that's just a bonus. Our big signing in the offseason was Brock Bowers. He comes in to replace Nick Bonito, who was just a disappointment last season, and towards the back half of season 1, I believe, Bonito hit like 2 home runs in that last series, but that wasn't enough to keep him, honestly. So Bowers comes in, he's 25 years old, making slightly more than Bonito was, I believe, $800,000 over. 69 contact, 72, or 69 power, 72 contact. Jeez. So that's out the gate. That's a huge, maybe not an improvement over Bonito. I can't remember exactly what Bonito had, but nice offensive stats. 63 speed could be a little better, but it's fine. 89 fielding, really good. We're good there. 74 arm. We chilling on defense. If he could just get a little bit of a boost to his offense, that would be nice. But how he is right now, tier 2 mind gamer, just like Hufunga has. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what Bowers can do for this team. Even if he doesn't develop, he's still an absolute stud for this lineup. RJ Harvey returns. Again, backup second base, and that infield outfield versatility, 88 speed, 72 arm, and tier 2 sprinter. Not too much more to see here. He's only 26 years old, $5.6 million salary. So I'm cool with him right now. He's just a nice backup piece to have. Devontae Smith returns, 29 years old. He's our starting third baseman. He comes back on a much easier to deal with salary. He was making $13.9 last year, I believe. Now he's making $7.4, which is actually under his valuation by $200,000. Not much power, but he has great contact, great fielding, great arm, good arm at least, and pretty good speed with tier 2 magic hands. So he's going to be good on defense, and hopefully a reliable bat with that 85 contact. Pat Surtain, superstar, absolute beast, tier 2 bad ball hitter. He hasn't really showed it last season. He was kind of up and down, but hopefully he can dial into what his ratings say. Hopefully, he can get a couple of random player developments or random player arcs, and he can move back from an A plus to that S tier again. Marvin Mims is our actual backup left fielder. Great speed, stealer, and clutch, both a tier 2. He's basically a pinch runner, and he comes in when it's clutch time. Talano Hufanga, great starting center fielder. Yeah, just great overall. Tier 2 mind gamer, 28 years old, and always has been the best on the team as far as getting on base, whether it's drawing walks or just getting hits. He's really good at getting hits. He hit a 350 year 1 and a 386 year 2. He's not going to smash a league lead in home runs, but he's going to get on base. Jade Barron is our starting left fielder. He has that utility trait at tier 2. He's technically a center fielder, but he has an outfield, infield versatility. He's only 26 years old, only making $5.1 million, which is $500,000 under his valuation. Nothing about his ratings stand out, but he's very good, very balanced. And he proved himself on the field. I gave him a shot at left field when Rowan Dunze wasn't panning out. I gave Jade a shot, and he didn't let me down. He came out and he just ran with the job opportunity. So he's our starting left fielder. Cortland Sutton is 32 years old, so he's getting up there in age, but he's a great bat. 70 power, tier 2 contact versus righties. Pretty solid overall. Not a great arm, but it is what it is. Not everybody in the outfield always needs to have the top level of defense. Sutton always seems to come through with home runs and you need him. He's basically clutch without the clutch trait. Keely Ringo is a salary saver. I don't really care. I'm just going to go the rotation as a whole. I talked about it earlier, but Bo Nix leading this group. 5 pitches, 66, 56, 63 with tier 2 clutch and volatile. If he could lose volatile, that would be pretty cool. Maybe gain K collector or workhorse or something. But as he sits right now, I'm cool with how he is. He'll occasionally give up like a bad game, like that game 1 against Pittsburgh in the playoffs. But he'll also turn around and have like absolute shutdown games, like the opening game of the season against Buffalo when we should have had a complete game shutout, but then we end up falling apart at the very end. I still didn't forget about that. Yeah, so I'm happy with Bo. Jaquan, Jackson Dart, and Reek Woolen are all B minuses vying for that SP2 job. Jaquan is 27, Jackson Dart's 24, Reek Woolen's 29. They're all making about the same money in salary. And it's all just up to who performs the best. Zach Allen, nice reliever to have. I'm very happy with him as our long reliever, top option. 65 velo, 65 accuracy, 56 junk, 4 pitch mix, 75 bat power. That's really nice to see. Tier 2 stimulated. It's really nice when it comes through. Even when it doesn't, it seems like he's always locked in. Allen's just a great bullpen arm in general. Treyers is a nice number 2. Tier 2 clutch. Pretty balanced overall. He could use some help in accuracy, but he's fine. Amarius Mims, about the same as Trey Harris. Like, he has 4 pitches, 51 power, and he's got 56 velo, 58 junk, and 51 accuracy. Again, he could use some help in accuracy and just a little bit of boost here and there in general. But he's 25 years old, making $5 million. It's cool. Ariante Ursary, I would love to see him develop. He's a C overall, 24 years old. He only has 3 pitches, 64 velo. That K collector is nice. And tier 2 volatile. Again, just like Bo, you know, I wouldn't be mad if he loses volatile, but it is what it is. He's making 3 million. He's a back of the bullpen type of arm. Speaking of back of the bullpen, Lewis Seen is the final player on our roster here. C overall, 26 years old, 3 pitches, 47, 40, 41 in terms of ratings. He, just like Keely Ringo, is a salary saver. Alright, so we're going to end this video here. The next episode will be the start of Season 3. And let's hope we can finally break through and stop choking in the playoffs and win a goddamn title. Until then, I will see you all later.